Part 2. The next trip. The high country. On the Tuesday after I'd got home from my long trip to South Australia, I decided I would go to the high country to finish my break. The first day saw me travel to O'Toole's campground north of Walhalla and east of the Thompson Dam, on the Donnelly's Creek Road. Again I had the site to myself. This was dependent upon whether I could cross Donnelly's Creek. Donnelly's Creek turned out to be really just normal, shallow Donnelly's Creek. But I had the site to myself. I was there most of the afternoon without any visitors, and then around 5 p.m. a Nissan Patrol drove in. He took one look and drove out again. They must have gone to a little O'Toole's because I heard their chainsaw later on. As with all winter trips on your own, you go to bed early. A combination of boredom, extreme dark and the cold sort of drive you into bed. I was woken around 8 p.m. by another car driving into the campground, but once they saw my car they drove out again and I had the site to myself all night. The next morning it looked like rain, so I packed up and set off, not sure where I was going. I ended up on Spring Road, which leads to Mount Useful, and then I took South Road across to the Jamison-Licola Road. Then I took the Jamison-Licola Road down towards Licola and took the diversion and down towards the Macalister River Track. The Macalister River Track was a little bit wet, but it was passable. The Macalister River Track has a lot of river crossings. Travel up that track was dependent on some of those crossings because they can be quite deep. The worst one being the last one I crossed, where the car started to push a little bit sideways in the water. I decided I wasn't going to go back, so I kept going and went up Butcher Country Track instead. I didn't stay along the Macalister River. This was my first mistake. I should have stayed at the campground at the bottom of Butcher Country Track, but I didn't. The Butcher Country Track is an extreme track, and I had been up there twice before, so I knew I was okay, but I'd never been along its entire length before. It was a good 3-hour drive before I reached Howitt High Plains, and I was exhausted. The car never slipped or struggled and coped with all that the Butcher Country Track could throw at it. On the top it was in the clouds were low, and it was misty and very wet. So I decided to go south and downhill a bit, down the Howitt Road, to where it was a bit drier, and eventually stopped at Shaw Creek Billabong on the Tamboritha Road to set up camp. I ate dinner and washed up, went to bed at 7 p.m. and the wind was howling at least 30 km, and by 7:30 I'd had enough. I'd positioned myself away from the gum trees, but there was nowhere that was out of reach of the taller trees if they toppled. After having several small branches fall around me, I decided to pack up and leave, hurriedly packed everything away, doused the fire with water and drove off. Arriving at Licola, I called my wife and asked her if it was windy there, in Berwick, and she said yes it was. One look at the forecast confirmed I was going to be too windy, so I went home, beaten by the weather again. I aren't going out again, I've given up. I'll go out next time, but I've got a few repairs to do to the car. Here's some video from part 2. Hi everybody, what we have here is, I have no idea what this road is called. Basically this is the road that comes up from Thompson's Dam and meets with the Walhalla to Woods Point Road, I think. And we're going to turn right in a minute and we're going to drop down to Donnelly's Creek. And then we're going to take the Donnelly's Creek Road to O'Toole's campground. So far I've heard a little bit of radio chatter, but nothing substantial, and I've not seen any other vehicles, so fingers crossed we're all good. Who knows? I've got to keep an eye out for this road off to the right. I've got both my GPSs going. Incidentally, the HEMA book on this area is really worth the money. Not only does it give you maps, it gives you a bit of history and some of the huts and the Thompson Reservoir and things like that. And this is where we turn right. And we take this right hand of the two tracks and we go down here into Merrington's track. I just hope it's not too boggy. We're going to take our time with plenty of time. It's only 20 past 12. So we know we're going to O'Toole's if we can get across the river at Donnelly's Creek. If we can cross the river, we're going to O'Toole's. If we can't cross the river, then we'll have to have a rethink. I should probably test the four-wheel drive system, as I guess crossing the river is not the place you want to find out that it doesn't work. So I'll just engage it. Anybody who's thinking of fitting an automatic hub diff lock? This is the sort of noise you can expect from an automatic diff lock at the front. Can you hear it? That's the ratcheting noise you get. Obviously, it's less than that when you're going faster, but when you're going slow, that's the ratcheting noise you get. So to be expected, you'll hear a noise like that when you're going slow. If you fit an automatic diff locker into the back, you ain't going to be able to disconnect the drive, so you're going to have that all the time. So just bear that in mind. Sometimes when you're going back, you have to go backwards to disengage the collar in the shift on the fly. So the last time you saw this track was when Rob and I were going to meet the zoo camp, and we travelled on the Friday night. We came down here with our spotlights on Merrington's. Now we've got to be careful here because we have to go left, I think, because I think that we go up here. This seems a bit counterproductive, but I'm pretty certain this is the way. That's a strange bird running along the ground. What are you doing, matey? That's a good idea. Keep going. What are you going that way for, you daft bird? That's better. Creek Bend. The junction it's called. Cross. Deep water check depth. Big length for that. And this way, I think it is. Dead fish. Should have leaf. Problem, you can get up this hill. Donnelly's Creek Road, yay! Well, the Augustus doesn't look close to me. Looks open. Well, this creek doesn't look bad. It doesn't look too bad at all. So I may have got that wrong on the video I did for that fun bit of video. River's quite low. Right, fingers crossed as to whether O'Toole's is empty or full. I don't see anybody. Erected fences everywhere. There's no beggar here. You know where firewood is. There's some over there. Camping there actually, because it's in the middle of not many trees. Well, we're here. We've made it, and there's not a soul in sight. So I found a bit of firewood, and there's not a soul on the entire campground. They've put new toilets in. There used to be toilets used to be up there. They've been put down here. This rotunda it stops you camping here. Hi everybody, and welcome to camping at O'Toole's. Got the fire lit down there, look, see, that's going well. And I don't need it for cooking, so that's good. I've got my stove set up. I've got one of these. And look what I found in the fridge. Some cabanas. So this is where you get yourself one of these. It's a fake browning, but by God it's sharp. But trust me, if you get yourself a fake browning, buy yourself a pouch, because I nearly impaled myself on that at work, because I used the rope cutter attachment at work because I worked in parcels, and nearly impaled myself. I nearly stabbed myself to death. So just be careful. So what I'm doing, I'm checking out the map, see where I'm going tomorrow. So where am I at the moment? I'm on map 34. I'm at that campground right there. Well, actually, I think that's Little O'Toole's campground. Try as I might, I can't find this campground on a GPS. And it is not marked on there either. I'm thinking of heading up to what they call Binge Road, which is where Mount Useful is. Turning left and following Binge Road, and that takes me to here. The problem is what do I do after that? Could take South Road over to Jamison Licola Road, and as the rivers are quite low, head down to Macalister River. Or could go try somewhere I've never been before. It's awful, this miserable weather camping, you know. Oh, the sun. Tell you what I do need to do though. I need to get my solar panel into the sun. What to do? Well, I hear an engine. My reign of being on my own might be over. Although I don't hear it now. I definitely heard an engine. But if I heard an engine, I don't know where it's gone. I know for a fact that up here you can hear the cars coming around the top road up there. I don't know about from that direction, but I don't hear anything now. Okay, quick update, the camping situation. I'm still here on my own. Those vehicles, there were 2 of them went by, and there were tradesmen, and they kept going, and they've gone off, and I've heard nothing since. So I'm still here on my own, so that's a good thing. Although it's only 4:30, 4:20, there's still a chance somebody could turn up yet. But as it is, I'm on my own. So fingers crossed. I'm nearly out of wood though. Fire's nearly gone. Got my electric blanket in the swag though. Never been cold under those King's heavy duty sleeping bags are the best thing that 4-wheel drive Supercentre have ever produced. They are just fantastic. They're so warm, and you can strip them down in the summer so that they're thinner and they're not as hot. And you can turn them into 2 doonas, which is what we do. We don't use them as sleeping bags. We turn them in, although they're extra large. We open them up and use them as doonas. So you can see what happens. Like that, look, see, one underneath, one on top. Warm as toast, always warm. And there's an electric blanket in there, and if it gets cool, which it looks like it's gonna, I'm gonna plug it in, warm it up before I go to bed. That's camping for you, eh? Good morning and welcome to O'Toole's. It's 8:50 and we're about to leave. Just doing a final check that I haven't left anything. A couple of bits of bread, that's it. I had a very interesting night last night. I kept getting disturbed. Something was in the bin. So I got out to have a look. I couldn't see anything, so I got out and had a look. And there was something hopping in the bin, and it was a mouse trying to get out. It got in to get some bread that I put in the bin. So I ejected it out of the bin, put the bin on the table and went back to sleep. About an hour or 2 later, I hear the same noise again. It's back in the bloody bin, but it's up on the table. So I eject it out again, throw the bread out onto the grass, and I never saw it again after that. So some people might say it was a mouse, I should have killed it, but I didn't do anything wrong to me. It was only after a bit of food, probably to feed its family. So I let it go. It wasn't. It was a field mouse of some sort. So anyway, on to today. So I'm going to continue along the track until we get to is it Gibbs Road or something like that, where Mount Useful is. And we'll go to Mount Useful and have a look there. So I thought it might have been raining a bit this morning, but it might have just been a bit of mist. So I've got everything dry again, and now we're on the road. So I'll see you in a little while. Alright, so we're continuing along Donnelly's Creek track, but we're nearly at the site of, is it Timboon? Not Timboon, it's an old village site. And then we come to a hut, I think it's Morocco Hut or something like that. We'll see in a minute when we get a bit nearer. That's Lloyd's hut. It's at the side of the track on the Donnelly's Creek Road. This is the site of an old village of some sort here. So probably some old mining village. Bit of a creek crossing. A bit lumpy going in. Okay, coming out. There are people here. Somebody's house this. And this right here is a hut. Can't remember the name of it. Not stopping. It's actually staying overnight in the hut. Store Point Hut. Oh, Springs Road, not Gibbs Road. Springs Road. So I'm going on to Springs Road and I'm going to head up to Mount Useful now. And what you'll see in a minute is the fire watch tower that they man in the summer on the fireback days. It's a bit wet up here. I might need four-wheel drive at some point. Could be slippy. Well, there's one thing for certain. I don't want to be staying up on the top. It's pretty wet up here. Mount Useful Fire Tower. Do you want to go? We'll go. Let's go up and have a look. We'll go up and have a look. Let you have a look at Mount Useful Fire Tower. So there you go, Mount Useful Fire Tower. Those must be aerial erectors. You might have seen it by now, but I had a bit of a rant about rubbish in campgrounds. When I went to that strange pronounced name lake down near Portland, I picked up half a bag of rubbish before I even started camping, including an empty whiskey bottle. Just to show you in contrast, I've just been to O'Toole's and I didn't have to pick any rubbish up. Not one iota of rubbish. So what we're going to do here, we're going to take a road called South Road. I don't know if this is South Road. No, that's Green Hills. No idea what that's like. Never been up there. UHF 39, that's for logging trucks. Best put that back on. Right, when we get round this sweeping right hand bend, we should be able to see the Jamison Licola Road. There it is, right there. Jamison Licola Road. Left to Jamison, right to Licola. Now this gets quite busy down this road. Well, when I say busy, I don't mean there's going to be a lot of cars on it. Well, I mean we might pass a couple of cars. Or there might even get one coming up behind us. You can tell it's a busy road because there's a lot of corrugations on it. This is the main road from Licola to Jamison. It is a seasonally closed road though. So if you're going to get to Jamison from another location, then you have to go a different direction. It's very slippy on here, so I'm going to take my time. There's still no signal. A lot of potholes in this road as well. It's even bumpier if you go on the Jamison side. A different council. This side is I'm not sure where this. This road was closed last time I came down it, and there was a diversion down to the track where we want to go. So if we can find that track, we'll go down that way. Oh, there's been a tree down here. Look at that. That's a hell of a tree to fall down. Fell down right up there, and the top of it came down here. So somebody's been out with a chainsaw and chopped it off. For your information, somebody once mentioned to, I'm not sure whether it was Queensland or New South Wales or Victoria or South Australia or even Western Australia, but they mentioned to one of the parks authorities that they must like the fact that four-wheel drivers cut the trees up on the tracks. And they said, yes, we do, we're very grateful. However, for future reference, if you're going to cut up a tree, cut it all the way to the edge. Don't just cut a big enough gap for your car. And that makes a lot of sense, really. So we're at 3,600 feet and we're descending. We're going to be down into the valley bottom before we're done. I don't know if we actually get to tarmac before the diversion hits or if that road's up, but I'm going to go down towards Macalister River, and if it's too wet I won't go that way. I'll go down to Tamboritha Road and we'll go along there. Road work ahead. Traffic lights on this road must be bloody narrow. I've been doing road work on here for a long time. Traffic lights not in use. flashing amber means the traffic lights are out of use, so you can get through. And there's plenty of space. I mean, it's not like, I hope they're not tarmacking this road all the way through. It looks like there might be though. There's somebody somewhere. We're coming up to the turn off. It's much nicer weather down here. We're down to just under 700 meters, and it's looking like, yeah, it's looking like, so 700 meters is about 2,000 feet. It's looking a lot nicer below the cloud level. Sun's out, looks dry, the roads are dry, everywhere's dry. So we're coming to the turn off. Oh my god, there's a bloody bulldozer going down the road.
So mate, you got a car behind you? Yeah. Yeah, just pull over and let him go past.
Thanks fellas.
Got a copy, Dirk? Yeah, mate. Gonna just run Jack up the road and let you walk that digger up so Jack can drive the chipper for you.
Well, that was interesting. Let's hope we don't meet anything else down here. This is the detour road we're on now. This brings you, if you come out of Licola and take the right hand turn as you're just leaving Licola, you go along a track that follows a lot of small creek. You go through a couple of farms, and that is the road that this meets. This goes down to the bottom and meets up with that road. So that brings us quite a distance along the track to save us driving back along. So that works really well. And there you can see one of the farms right down there in the bottom there. That's not where the road is. At least I don't think it is. I can't really remember how long this road is. But we go through what looks like a farm gate. It looks like you're going into a farm. Ah yes, we come back up to there. So the road here goes round to the right. Oh no, it doesn't. It comes up. Yeah, if you're going back to Licola, you turn right. If you're going to Macalister, you go left. So it looks like you're going through a farm gate here and into a farmyard, but you're not. You're actually going on the normal track. So we'll go down this way, we'll have a look at the weather, we'll see what the track's like, and we'll make a decision once we get there. There's a bit of tarmac along here. It's a bit strange. Obviously there's a house and they've paid for some tarmac or something, keep the dust down, because this does get busy in school holidays down here. Transmission at 51. Pretty cool. It should warm up a bit more now we've come down here. We're nearly down it to the bottom. The Macalister River, I believe. No, it's the Barclay River down here. warmed up a bit again now. I can turn the heating off and cool off again. The reason I know we're below 200 degrees is because my EGT gauge is flashing 3 bars, and that means it's below 200. But its minimum reading is 200. Oh, this is the campground. This is the campground I thought we were at the other day. So there's a campground here on the right hand side over this bridge. See it there? Nice campground. Tim Bates stayed in there. Somebody's left some wood down there. Might go reappropriate that. A couple of pieces of wood from the roof rack. Well, that's firewood sorted. See if we can get out of here now and keep the firewood on while we're driving. Where you come across a tarmac bit and a house on the left. Once you pass that, we come to a crossroads, and you take you know you're on the right track because it says seasonal gate closed, no way to turn round if you go up to it. But that is called Black Soil Gully Track, I think. Anyway, we'll go and see. There's a sign here saying give way to stock, so we must be either near the farm or near the tarmac road. There are some horses in the field on the left, so there's a house coming up on the left, so we're near the tarmac road bit. And here it is, look, in the middle of nowhere, bit of tarmac road, house up on the left. I think there's another house down here to the left. It might be just a barn. I thought there was another house, but maybe I'm wrong. And the tarmac road ends just as abruptly as it started, just round this corner.